Hello everyone, today we'll talk about the problem average waiting time. We are a chef in a restaurant. Some customers will arrive to our restaurant. We know the arrival, so the time when a given customer arrives, and also the time it will take for us to prepare food for that customer. We will be preparing food for customers in the order in which they come to our restaurant. And so it might turn out that some customer will have to wait a long time for his food. In particular, it will happen in a situation when there are multiple customers that have come to our restaurant before, especially if they have come recently, because now we have a long queue of food that we have to prepare for all of them, and so each subsequent customer will have to wait longer and longer. And maybe then if there is a big gap when it comes to new customers, then we can finish with all the customers that we've had previously, and now the next customer will only have to wait for the time that's necessary to create their dish. And we just have to return the average waiting time for all the customers. Well, of course, the average waiting time is just the sum of waiting times divided by the number of customers, so that's essentially the same thing. But calculating the sum is cleaner, because we can do that in integers, not worry about floating point numbers. The way I like to look at this problem, because this is quite a standard problem, is to consider that, let's say that we have a clock and we look at the time that's on the clock at a given moment. So, if there are no customers, then we have to skip time forward until the next customer arrives. So, we just take the maximum of the current time and the arrival time for the next customer to be the current time. And then we take the order of that customer, we forget about everybody else, and we do what we need to do to prepare the order for that customer. So the time increases by the time necessary to prepare that order. And now, how much did that customer have to wait? Well, that customer had to wait the time that was on the clock plus the time required to prepare their food, minus the moment that they arrived in our restaurant. So we add that to the result. And only then, since now we're free, so we're done with that customer, then we look at the next customer. And again, if necessary, we wait for them to come in. Skip time forward. Otherwise, they're already here in the restaurant, so we spend the time to create their food, and so on. So that's a very simple way of looking at it. That gets us an easy linear time constant space algorithm. And since we are being asked to return the average waiting time, we have to divide by the number of customers at the end.